Alright, so we'll do a quick weekly outlook for this upcoming week. So um, on the previous week, I said that I wanted to see price come and sweep this high into this monthly inversion fair value gap here, and then see if we can get a sell off. But right now, it's not looking like we're getting that. So I wanted to see price sweep this high, this internal high, into this daily fair value gap, resting inside of the premium of this dealing range. So it's basically resting in OT level. So I wanted to see that and then see if we can get a sell off. But we already got that push high on Monday, so I didn't get any long opportunities from here, because on the daily open, I wanted to see price sweep this low into the propulsion block, but we already opened gapped higher and then just pushed straight for that short-term draw liquidity, so I didn't get that opportunity. Then we saw this large displacement from the key level, and after sweeping these highs. So for me, after that Monday closure, I was looking for shorts for the next day, and then didn't get that with this daily candle closure. So again, the drawn liquidity for me was the Monday highs for the next few days, and then we hit that. And not only that, we closed above this high, and we've closed above this daily fair value gap. So the obvious drawn liquidity for me now is this internal high on the daily, and then there's actually a potential chance we could actually come for these highs again, because after taking out this internal low, this could probably just be a large manipulation from this dealing range low to this dealing range high on the monthly time frame, and we've just taken out some daily sell side inside the discount, and then now we're going back for these highs. So something like this, price takes out all of this sell side into the discount, and then now we're just forming bullish structure again on a daily. But again, we're now trading at this weekly breaker and this weekly order block, which means, and we have CPI on Tuesday and PPI on Wednesday. So there is actually a potential chance, which is actually what I'm watching for, if with the news events in the middle of the week, that we get something like this and then we start to sell off. If we get that 4-hour displacement and that daily candle giving that confirmation, then I'd say that there's a good chance that this could be the high of the month, and then we could start selling off and coming for these lows and these lows here. But yeah, it doesn't look too good for shorts right now, because we've closed above this high and this daily fair value gap, which is the area I wanted to see price sell off for, but we're trading at a weekly bearish key level, so there's a potential chance that we could still see that sell off, and we still have 20 days of the monthly calendar left, and for this monthly candle to reverse. This could just be a large manipulation, big wick, and then we could just start wicking away, coming for these lows and then these lows next. So I'd say I'm still leaning more bearish, but to get that bearish confirmation, we need to see like an aggressive displacement candle after sweeping this high, and some 4-hour structure to form as well. But yeah, for now, early in the week, what I'm watching for is some intraday long. So even though I'm expecting a potential weekly bearish candle, I'm willing to flip my bias to bullish if we don't see any displacement from this high. And right now, because I trade intraday mainly, I'm just focused on what's the next daily candle print likely to be anyway. So if I say in Monday, I'm expecting a bullish daily candle print anyway to this high. So for now, I'm bullish until proven otherwise. So if we sweep this high and start displacing lower, then I'll flip bearish, and as it aligns with my weekly bias. But for now, I'm bullish until we get that confirmation. So we have this go on to the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we have this market maker buy model with this high being a drawn liquidity, and we have now inverted this 4-hour fair value gap, which is also the daily fair value gap. And with the NFP drop, we came down and manipulated and took out these lows and then displaced higher, and we have this small order block, which I don't really like using these as order blocks because the body's relatively small to the wicks, so it's not really a high probability for me. But there's a potential chance that on the next the weekly open we can come run this short-term low and then come all the way for the draw on liquidity here, which is actually which is what I'm watching. And there's also another scenario: if you don't get that, if you get a deeper manipulation on Monday, that we have this low being the previous day low into that 4-hour inversion, and we have this small volume imbalance. So I'd actually prefer that more if we could come and manipulate this previous day low and then come for these highs next. These are relatively equal highs, so essentially that's what I'm watching on DXY for early in the week. And then once we take out this draw, even if we take out on Monday, I'll probably skip the day and see how the daily candle closure is, because you know now we have 4 consecutive up close candles. You don't want to keep longing with these many consecutive up close candles, because eventually there's going to be a down close candle, right? So if we sweep this high and start coming down lower, there's a potential chance that price will go for these internal lows, the previous day low, even this low, and then could continue higher from there as well. So as I'm watching for on DXY, see if I can catch longs. If not, then we'll probably wait for after CPI and see the narrative for the remainder of the week. If we're still bullish after sweeping this high, or if we see a bearish reaction and start selling off, and that's the high of the week likely placed in. So yeah, we'll see Euro, same thing, equal lows. We have this small OB, but to be honest, I prefer if we sweep the previous day high into this daily fair value gap. But we could also just come back and sweep this internal high, and then and then just sell off into this low here. So to be honest, I'd prefer we come and run this high and then sell off here, but we'll have to see. That's the 2 scenarios I'm watching on Euro. And then pound, to be honest, this one already took out the draw, so I'm skipping pound. I'm not really interested in pound. But if DXY gives that bullish confirmation, and we're actually bullish on DXY, then we're coming for these highs, then pound looks pretty good for sell-off, because we took this swept this daily high into this daily fair value gap, an order block resting inside the premium of this range, and we have these equal lows as a draw on liquidity, right? Weekly fair value gap, weekly inversion, so this is like a high probability draw on liquidity. So we start to retrace, then we can look for shorts back into these equal lows, right? But yeah, I wouldn't try to long GU here, because we have all these daily bearish PD arrays that are formed after taking out these highs. So if DXY gives that confirmation, then GU looks really good for shorts. Euro GBP. So I said I wanted to see price come into this daily fair value gap, and then start seeing that sell off, and we started to get that with Friday's closure, formed this order block, and then on Monday we tapped the order block, and then we sold all the way into these lows, which is my draw on liquidity. So right now, Euro GBP, hard to read at this point. I don't know if after sweeping these lows, even this low as well, we took out this low. After sweeping this consolidation lows, if we're gonna start displacing higher, or if we're just gonna continue lower. But right now, I'd say it'd be neutral. But as long as we don't close above this fair value gap on a daily, then I'd say it's more likely we get a sell off than a reversal here and come for these highs. But that's only if this daily fair value gap holds. If we invert it, then it's a good chance that this is just a stop run, sell side sweep, and then now we're bullish again. So USD CAD, because DXY had the wrong bias on DXY, this reversed as well. This low was my drawn liquidity, but because we already swapped all these lows into this order block daily imbalance, we saw that reversal. So yeah, this one I'm not really too interested, to be honest, because we tapped the weekly fair value gap, but that weekly closure is very bullish. So if we come into this imbalance, then intraday longs back into this high would be like a short-term drawn liquidity, right? And then maybe this high as well potentially, but I'm not really too interested in this one. USD JPY as well, not too interested because we've taken out the higher time frame buy side. I'm actually watching Euro GBP, but to be honest, it's not really on my priority. But just in case, I do have this on the watch list. Swap this daily low inside of this order block and weekly bullish order flow, also previous week's low. And on the daily, we got this large displacement candle, and then we have this 4-hour bullish structure that's formed. So order block closed above, and we have this propulsion block, but there's a good chance that, you know, price can also come for the low one more time, being this low right here. So to be honest, I'm kind of hoping we get that instead of price going up from here. But we have this fair value gap and order block on the 1 hour, so, you know, there's a potential chance that price can, you know, sweep this low, and then we come for these highs here. But then there's also a potential chance that if we don't get that from this low, then, you know, we also come for this low, and then, yeah, come for these highs here. So I'm watching for both lows here. Like got this low here, and we have this 4-hour fair value gap as well. So we'll see how price reacts to this level. But yeah, ideally also a fast reaction from this level, because we have this inversion, right? So you don't want to see price closing below the inversion on a 4-hour time frame. So like a wick into this level, and then start getting that displacement, and then we have those equal highs as a drawn liquidity, and then we have this high as well. So yeah, to me, 4-hour market maker buy model, equal highs as a drawn liquidity, weekly monthly order flow is bullish. Every monthly candle has been bullish on this pair, so just sticking with the order flow until proven otherwise, right? So yeah, there's a good chance we come for these highs. So yeah, that's what I'm watching for in this pair. And then JPY, also got to watch out for SMT with those highs. So you don't want to see price take out this high on GJ, and then EJ doesn't get that reverses before even taking out that high. So watch out for both. Yeah, not watching that. Swissy swept these lows and reversed because DXY was bullish, but I do think we'll still eventually come for these lows. I think just not right now is the time. We'll have to see DXY give that bearish confirmation first. And then Bitcoin, to be honest, we tapped the monthly fair value gap and seen a bit of a sell-off, but I want to, because that sweep was so insignificant, I don't really trust it to be the high put in place, and we haven't tapped this weekly fair value gap yet either. So I think there's still a chance that because on the daily this looks like consolidation, I still think, you know, there's a chance that, you know, we get that manipulation candle, and then get that sell off. You know, you don't really see it in a consolidation. Price, you know, just gives that very small manipulation candle and it goes lower. There's usually like an aggressive spike up which baits people into thinking, oh, okay, we're going long here, large displacement out of the accumulation range. Let me, that's like a range breakout, so let me go long. This is not really gonna fool like smart money participants. So to me, I don't really think this is like the high of the month placed in. I think we come back for this high one more time, create this bullish order block, and then close below those down close candles and then form like a breakout, for example. So that's what I'm waiting for on Bitcoin. Not really interested unless we even if we close below those down close candles, I'm still not really too interested in this because it still looks like a range to me. But yeah, and then gold is probably the pair that I'm watching the most for Monday, because we have this we tap this weekly fair value gap. Technically weekly fair value gap. This is a redelivered rebalance, and then on the daily, swept this low, displaced higher, inverted this bullish fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, forming an inversion, and we formed this bullish fair value gap as well on the buy side. So this is like a 4-hour market maker buy model, right? We have this initial consolidation, small money reversal, and now we've confirmed like the low risk buy on the 4-hour time frame as well. So this should just go straight for the all-time highs here, right? Logically. So I was actually watching for this, but because of NFP I didn't take anything, right? But we formed this hourly fair value gap, so I wanted to see if price could, if NFP could manipulate this low and then continue higher. And to be honest, I was even fine if NFP took out this low as well, but we didn't. We only took out this small internal low inside of the range, and then we swept the range highs with NFP. So to be honest, there was no setup for me here, right? Swept this high at 8:30, swept this low and swept this high. So to me, it's not really any setup, right? And then afterwards, we took out this high, being the previous day high. So for me, I'm not gonna take an intraday. I'm not gonna take like a retest or retracement entry after we swept this previous day high, because price can reverse and come for all these lows before giving like bullish continuation. So say someone just long something like this, you'll basically even be a break even, but this displacement already would probably already been a bad sign after taking out the highs. So but then at the same time, you also don't short this. Some people would probably be like, okay, buy side sweep, displacement, fair value gap, let me short that. That's also a bad trade because we have all-time highs as drawn liquidity, order flow is bullish, so you don't fade the bullish order flow because we're tracing after sweeping a high. But yeah, for what I'm watching for in gold is a run of this low. See on the 4-hour we have this small fair value gap, this 4-hour fair value gap, and on the 1-hour we have this order block, so there's a potential chance that we could come down and then go for that all-time highs after running this low. So that's what I'm watching for. Market maker buy model. There's also a potential chance that we could come and sweep these equal lows as well, but to be honest, I don't really think so. If we're bullish, I think we'll just have like a small manipulation on a daily, and we into this daily order block, and then we'll see price push higher from this level. So this is the main level that I'm watching for, and I'll probably watch this heading into Monday, see how the weekly weekly candle opens. Also a potential chance that we don't get that and price just goes straight for the all-time highs, and if that happens, then I'll probably block off gold. Like I won't even watch this pair anymore. But that's what I'm watching for if we get that retracement. And then I'll quickly go over NQ because I had the wrong bias on this pair as well. So on NQ I wanted to see we had SMT with ES. with these highs, right? So I was expecting this to be a failed swing, and we displaced lower and inverted this daily fair value gap. So after this Friday closure, I expected Monday to be a bearish print, and then on Monday we retraced into that order block that I was mentioning, and then just slowly grinded higher, and then came for these highs again, and then also came for these highs. And at the same time, NQ made new all-time highs on Friday as well, with this displacement higher. So to me, I'm not gonna trade this. I don't really trade indices anyway, but unless it's like a clear high time frame play. But on a tighter time frames, there's nothing too clear, right? This is just looks like a consolidation on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame. But because the 4 hours bullish, I wouldn't fade the 4 hour. I'll just remain bullish on this pair. Like these highs are probably next for NQ. We have these relatively equal highs as well. So, and this pair on the weekly time frame is relatively bullish, right? Monthly, weekly time frame, relatively bullish pair. So for now, NQ I'm bullish, but then also you gotta be cautious after ES is taking all-time highs in the case of another potential SMT. But I don't really see that, to be honest. But yeah, not trading on this pair, but I'm bullish on NQ until proven otherwise, right? So yeah, that's it. That's it for the weekly com that I got.